Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last week, MSU redshirt freshman Malayah Long was named the Big Ten Volleyball Freshman of the Week after she had 147 assists in 3 matches. Long used her redshirt last year at Marquette and then transferred to MSU in the offseason. She previously knew MSU head coach Coach Kelsay before college, and it's a big reason why she came to East Lansing. Our Sherry and McBroom sat down with Long recently and has more on her story.
For redshirt freshman setter Malayah Long, her life has always revolved around sports, and many people would say it's a family way of life. And for her, the only decision was what sport she was going to play.
And our whole family is a huge sports family. My mom played professionally, my dad played in college and coached, and we all just love the game, whether it's basketball, volleyball. But I think just growing up watching my sister, I'd be out in the front yard and she would be smacking balls at me and I would just be the little sister, and I think I really grew a love.
And just like every sport, life is never what it seems. And when Long was a child, she lost one of the most important people in her life.
My dad passed away when I was 10, and I just found this extra sort of motivation that I wanted to play, college volleyball, and I knew it was going to take work. He was always the loudest one in the stands. He'd be like, "That's my girl Mo!" He'd call me Mo Monster. So that's kind of where my nickname came from.
And even though he may not be in the stands at her matches, Long knew her dad was still looking down on her and still cheering.
The thing that really set me apart was my why, and I think a lot of people play volleyball just because they love the sport. But I think that my true intention was to play for something bigger than just myself, and I think that at the end of the day, I knew I wanted it, and I was going to do whatever it took to get there.
While dealing with her dad passing away and everything else that came over the years, Long says it was her mother who carried the weight of the world on her shoulders and was the backbone for their family.
I think that she's been truly someone I look up to in every aspect of life. She is a super strong individual, and especially raising 3 kids by herself after my dad passed, she has been our rock, and she showed that it's going to be hard and it's going to take a lot of extra work, but you have to fight for what you want, and sometimes that's going to be easier said than done, but she's really been that backbone for me to want to push myself and just to keep making her proud, but also making my dad proud. I would say she is a really big reason why I'm here today.
You transferred here to Michigan State. I guess going into your mindset, what kind of led to your transfer of leaving Marquette and coming here?
My coach at Marquette left, and so he went to Florida, and I think that kind of sparked some maybe I need to find something that's really gonna be beneficial for me. I think I lost myself a little bit last year I was a redshirt, and I'm an extreme competitor. I love to win, I love to fight, and I think that nothing wrong with the school, but I think I just lost a little something, and even my family knew that. They're that's not Malaya.
And for Michigan State head volleyball coach Coach Kelsay, she jumped at the opportunity to bring Long to East Lansing.
So I did a year of club volleyball out in Lincoln, Nebraska at Volleyball Club Nebraska, and I had the opportunity to coach her and her team a little bit that spring and summer at Nationals. And we developed a pretty special bond then, honestly, and helped her find her way to Marquette, was her recruiting corner during that process. And so when things aligned, right, and Ryan Tice took the Florida job, and she decided to make that change, for me it was a no-brainer, and we brought her on campus and she fell in love with this place, and she's doing a really great job. I'm really proud of her.
How have you worked to, even with kind of having a relationship with Kristen coming in here, how have you kind of worked to, I guess, develop your own space and kind of get back to the love of volleyball, but also excelling while doing so in the program as, new teammates, new coaches, new everything?
Transferring is always kind of scary, coming in, especially into a new position of wanting to fight for a spot. And Kristen made it very clear that as much as our relationship is super strong, I still had to fight for it every single day. And, at the end of the day, you gotta, work for it. And it wasn't gonna come, it wasn't just gonna be given. and that's something I really valued.
What kind of drives you to try to bring that leadership day in and day out, even though you might be one of the younger players on the team?
You know, my people, they allow me to play who I am, and it's really easy to come into a gym where you just feel like you can be yourself. And I think that everyone, including the coaches, have allowed me just to be who I am.
Long helped the volleyball team go 10-0 in non-conference play.